Wait a minute.
Hello, welcome back to the No Pro Football Show. I'm Bobby. If you haven't already, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and maybe your question will make it onto the show. Today, I have my usual distinguished guest, and I actually allow them to introduce themselves. Go ahead, Gina.
Hey everyone, this is Gina from She Talks Football. You can follow me on Twitter at She Talks Football with one L, as you see it on the screen. And my podcast, She Talks Football, you can follow it on and watch it on the Undroppables platform. That's at the Undroppables on Twitter and the Undroppables on YouTube, and also on my personal YouTube channel, She Talks Football. You may listen to the audio versions on Anchor, on Apple. As soon as it drops, they like to verify things, so it takes a while. And also on Spotify, on Google Pod. So basically, I'm out here, y'all. I'm out here. So please check your girl out.
I'm Jay. You can follow me on Twitter at jcorn625.
All right, folks. Um, for the first quarter, we're going to kick it off with some scores and game talk. Panthers beat the Texans 24-9.
And lost
I,
CMC.
that is huge. That is huge, which means they're going to lose next week. But I told you all that the Panthers. Now, hear me out before you start. I told you all that before the season started that the Panthers were going to be much better than they were last year, and they are, especially on defense. Now, CMC going out is that's gonna hurt. But if the coaching is good enough, you can't replace him, but you could probably make adjustments and work it out. I believe.
Well, that
Anyway,
backup dude, he tried to get it going though. He wasn't bad. He wasn't CMC, but
well, I mean nobody CMC. Um, Chargers beat the Chiefs 30-24.
yes. Didn't see
Uh,
that coming. Didn't see that coming. Knew it was possible, but did not see that coming necessarily.
I actually
Yeah, I
was
didn't
not
see it
surprised at
coming.
all.
I
I
wasn't
just said
surprised.
you said you wasn't surprised or were.
I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't surprised at
Wait, but
all.
did y'all pick the Chargers on your picks?
No, I picked the Chiefs,
Well,
but wait a
no, I
minute.
picked the Chiefs.
I picked
I'm,
the Chiefs
I'm
because
always
they.
ride with Mahomes because it's Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't lost enough to
Mahomes
really
is
be
your homie,
like
huh?
my homie. He hasn't really lost enough to kind of like be like, oh yeah, they probably gonna. But I picked them because they were home because I thought that game could go either way. And then later on, you'll find out I picked another team that I thought was going to be home, but they weren't.
But
Uh,
wait, did you guys see? I actually tweeted it. Did you guys notice that, like, when the Chiefs played the Ravens, Lamar did a jump pass touchdown? Like what I feel like Mahomes is more known for. I've seen him do it the most. And then when the Chargers played the Chiefs, Justin Herbert did a jump pass touchdown. Did you guys notice that?
I
No,
mean,
I didn't know.
I saw it, but
Is
you
that a
know,
coincidence? I
I think
think
so.
not. I
I think
don't.
so. I think it's just young, athletic quarterbacks doing whatever they have to do to win the game. I don't think it was a look. I beat you at your own game. When I said that about Lamar Jackson last week, I wasn't saying it as if he did it on purpose. I was just saying it happened so that he kind of beat him at his own game. I wasn't saying like he intentionally was like, all right, I'm gonna do a drop pass this game just to show him that I can do it too. I wasn't saying it like that.
No, I don't think anybody took it like that. I don't think
Uh,
it's a coincidence though, but okay.
Cardinals beat the Jaguars 31-19.
No shocker there.
Yeah, that wasn't there was nothing to that. Although the Jaguars gave them more of a game than I thought they were though.
In the beginning,
So does that show a sign of weakness for the Cardinals?
no, it was Justin in the beginning, dude. After a while, they weren't even in the game.
Yeah, but what if they were playing a team that was, more experienced, already had their stuff together, and you let somebody jump out like that? That's for Could have
They
been
play the
way.
Rams this week, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, we
Who, the
definitely gonna see.
Cardinals?
Yeah,
Yes.
divisional game, and it's going. I think it's going to have something to do with the end of the year too. Browns beat the Bears 26-6. No surprise there.
I
That
mean,
was
can
the
Justin
worst.
Fields get a whole line?
Right. That was like, Lord.
That
Can
they
Justin Fields get an O line? Did you guys see the stat where he had less than 1 second? It was point something to throw the ball.
yeah, it was definitely bad. They definitely need to work on that. But that's what they do with these young quarterbacks, and I really don't understand it. I really don't. But I still think their best chance because of that. I think their best chance to win is with Fields because what is Dalton going to do in less than a second? It'll take him that long to do his three-step drop. Bills beat the Washington football team 43-21. I did not see that coming. I thought the Bills would win. I didn't think it was going to be like that though. I thought the Washington football team defense was going to actually do something, but they did nothing. Titans beat the Colts 25-16.
The score should have been larger than that to me.
What do you mean?
I think the Titans should have won by a larger margin, given the weapons that they have offensively. I mean, the Colts can't even, the Colts QB is made of glass. Like,
Yeah, but the Colts also have a good defense, too. So the reason they're suffering is because of the offense. Saints beat the Patriots 28-13. That was not a surprise, and I figured that Jameis was going to bounce back this week, and that's a good defense too.
He had a few scary passes though.
He had a what?
A few scary passes.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely has to stop that.
Him and Garoppolo does this thing when they close their eyes, just throw the ball up and hope that somebody catch it. That is the craziest thing I've seen a quarterback do.
Stop.
Like that is so
You're
crazy.
You're exaggerating. He is not closing his eyes.
He closed his eyes. And you saw the pass when we watched it and just threw it up. And thank God the wide receiver caught it for a touchdown.
He definitely has to stop
that one when he was getting
that
crazy pass when he was getting sacked. Yeah, okay, I remember that one.
He has to stop that. He definitely has, because that could have easily been an interception. But he's not. Daniels does that too. But they have to stop that. Like that's you could throw a game away that way.
I think that's called the Mahomes effect, y'all. I think that's the Mahomes effect. Seriously, that everybody think they can do that stuff that Mahomes has done historically with Kelsey and all of them, and I think that it rubbed off on them, and they think they can do the same thing with the personnel that they have. No, boo, you cannot. And currently this year is not working out for Mahomes either. So
yeah,
that dude dropped that pass though. He should have definitely caught that. He was wide open.
No, he caught that ball. That are you talking about Mahomes or
yeah,
James?
when he did a no look pass on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, it did
go. I think it was unexpected though. It was unexpected.
Well, yeah, if you're looking at the quarterback and he's not looking at you and throws the ball, you don't think it's coming to you. And then that guy that he threw, that wasn't Kelsey. That was
some other tight end.
Backup tight end, yeah. So he didn't know. Falcons beat the Giants 17-14.
No, let's stop right there.
That was a surprise.
Giants.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Giants, what's going on? Like, I couldn't even figure out the Giants one way or the other coming into this season, but man, Giants fans. Oh my, the Falcons. Like, I'm no shade, Falcons fans. Honestly, no shade, but you guys have not looked good this season. Yeah, I mean, shade. You lost your best weapon. You sent your best weapon to the Titans. And it's like I haven't heard a word from Kyle Pitts this season in terms of his play.
I was just about to ask about that. Have you guys seen Kyle Pitts doing anything? I didn't catch the whole game.
I haven't heard anything.
Me either, but I have not heard a thing. So it's like I'm not even sure who he's throwing to. And I'm just like, yo, they beat the Giants. Like that's a new low for the Giants fans.
I honestly thought the Giants were going to be better this year, and I still think they're going to be better. Barkley hasn't even got his feet under him yet, so
Right, he's not up
we'll
to
see.
speed, but he
Yeah,
lost several he lost Sterling went out hurt and Galladay.
right. So that's tough right there. That's his two best receivers, basically.
And Blake Martinez is out for the season with a torn ACL.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah. I forgot about that, man. That's
Yeah, so I don't know about the
they're
Giants at
they're
all
hurting.
now.
They are hurting for sure. And the
And
offensive line is still not great.
Daniel cannot run 95 to 100 rushing yards a game. He can't do it. I give him credit for that game he did it. I was surprised, but
Well,
that's not going to work for him.
he obviously can't do it at one time either. You learned that last year. Um,
We're going to
Bengals
leave
beat.
that man alone because of something else that happened this week, but let's keep going.
Well, we about to talk about that. Bengals beat the Steelers 24-10. Listen,
Jaquan.
listen.
Jaquan.
Before we even start that conversation about that, I'm just going to say this. I honestly believe that he really thought he had somebody chasing him. Like, if you look at the video, and you guys, I can't show you the video, but
Jay, you know what we're talking
you'll
about,
know
right?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I need something about.
Okay.
If you look at that video, he absolutely thought that somebody was chasing him.
I don't know.
Because
It
not
just
only
looked
did
like
he
he tripped
run,
over
he
an
threw the ball
imaginary
away.
rope.
It's like he just tripped. I don't think he was
I
running.
think it was like an imaginary rope that he could see and we
Yeah,
couldn't
he
see.
definitely
Because
tripped.
the way his feet were on top, it literally looked like he tripped on a rope was running across the field.
All right, seriously though, what's going on with the Steelers? Like we
But our offense is different. I don't know what to say
Different.
about. I knew the offensive line was going to be a problem. I knew that already. But as Tomlin mentioned today, which I didn't even know, that our run game could be better because Najee has actually missed a lot of holes that he should have went through this year. And I saw a film on Twitter that the Steelers Depot had put up, and there was like a big gap that he missed, and he went to the other side and got tackled.
But that
It's
was
just a
one
whole
play.
bunch of things. Well, no, I mean it's a lot of plays, and then
so
when he
you
did get big
blaming
runs,
Najee Harris?
I'm not finished saying my. Can I finish this phrase?
Good.
Then when we had big runs or big catches, the penalties set us back. We had like 7 false starts. We had like 8 holdings. We had 2 offensive pass interferences. Like it was just not our day Sunday. It was not our day.
But
It was a bad day.
That's a matter of discipline, though. That's something that the Steelers normally hang their hats on is discipline. But let me ask you this: is why is it that when TJ Watt is not in the game, your defense is totally different?
Well, I think it has to do with TJ Watt and the fact that Alex Highsmith was out as well.
Hoskins.
Alex Highsmith. Melvin Ingram can't play every defensive snap as much as TJ could. And you got to take him out, and then all we have left is 2 rookie outside linebackers after that.
So are you saying to me that if you guys can't get a pass rush, your defense pretty much sucks?
Well, we don't have no second cornerback to match up with Joe Hayden. Yeah.
Okay. You heard it from him, folks.
It's gonna be an interesting side, which we traded for one like a month ago. I want to say from the Seahawks. We have yet to use him. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why he's not active in the games or what, but we just don't use him.
So here's what I heard just now. Your O-line suck. Your defense is it doesn't have any pass rush. You hurting on your DBs, and your quarterback is tripping over imaginary ropes and having to throw 50-something times a game. Like, is special teams doing good? Because from what you're describing, bro, the Steelers are in trouble this season.
I can't say that because it's only week 3.
I said potentially.
It's only week 3. We got 15 games left.
Yeah, 14.
Not 15.
14.
But I mean,
we made the playoffs though. We got 15 games, but we got some time. I feel like we can come.
But listen, how do you fix the offensive line Like it's not injuries that's hurting your offensive line; it's play. So how do you fix that during the
Well,
season?
you give the offensive line a chance to gel, which we haven't had a chance to do yet.
I mean, I understand that completely because our offensive line is not perfect, so we're
No, it's
still
not,
working on
and
some
they
things.
haven't gelled either because all of the same people haven't been playing with each other. But
But
we
you also
only
have a
have
running quarterback, though. A mobile running quarterback who can come out the pocket and run. That's the difference in this
well,
equation here.
we saw that Ben can run.
He's not going to run like Lamar.
No, he
That was
runs it forward.
shade. That was just
It was
straight
definitely
shade.
shade.
He didn't even catch it.
I
uh,
saw it.
When I saw that clip, I screamed. I was like, "But what happened?" And that's the part that threw me off because I didn't know what happened. But
but
seriously,
Ben threw the
so
ball
wow. So here's
58
the thing.
times.
At the end of the day, I'm not counting out the Steelers. We have seen the Steelers start off good and then fall off the cliff like they did last year. We have seen the Steelers start off 0 something and still come back and make it into the playoffs. So at the end of the day, just like a game, like you can't count them out until the clock strikes 00, colon 00. In terms of the season, you can never because all of a sudden stuff will just start clicking and coming together. So I'm saying it looks very troublesome right now based on these first 3 weeks, but you're right, it's only 3 weeks, and I would not be surprised if they pull some things together and make a real run. So,
Okay, I not get that, but
because
how many?
Tomlin has never had a losing season either. He's never had a losing season.
I know, but how many times during those troubles that they've had in these parts of these seasons, and they've been good for so long, like it's hard to remember stuff. But how many times has it been on both sides of the ball instead of just one? Like the
Like
year
not
of
too long ago.
the year we had the last year, COVID year is what I call it. No, that wasn't last year. What was the year when Ben was out? The year before last. Year before
2019.
last when Ben was out, yeah, and the offense suffered because of that because Ben was not there. Although it's still supposed to be next man up regardless, but because we don't get any sympathy with some
Well, you
people.
can't say that because if Lamar goes out and Trace McSorley comes, do you still think you're going to win the game you winning?
Trace not on our team, but yeah, we got Huntley. We'll still win the game with Huntley.
Yeah, we'll still
I
win
don't
some
think y'all
games.
would, though.
Listen, we may
I
not do
don't.
as we may not do as well, but we'll pull some games out.
Have
I
you seen
guarantee you.
Huntley?
Just like we pulled some games out.
No,
I've
have you
seen them.
actually? Did you see the
I've seen
preseason
him in
games that he
preseason.
played?
But that's
Okay,
preseason
dude, we
against
literally do not have to
second
make any changes
string.
on our offense if Huntley comes in the game. We can keep run the exact same offense with Huntley.
Okay.
No, seriously, that is honestly the truth.
But let me ask this question before we move on. Do you guys believe that if the Steelers have a losing season this year, especially if it's bad, say the Steelers only win 6 games this year, just hypothetically speaking, is Tomlin in trouble?
No.
Nah,
Okay. Just
nah.
You
wondering.
There's
think,
no way
do
he
you
should
think
be.
he's in trouble?
I don't think he should be at all.
Do you think he is? Do you think so? Will he will
No,
be?
I don't believe he should be. That dude is probably a future Hall of Fame coach. But I still feel like it's different for black coaches in this league than I think it is for others. That's just my opinion. Ravens beat the Lions 19-17.
First of all, can I just say I did not expect y'all to struggle in that game the way y'all did.
Well, we had a lot of people out.
Well,
I
we
thought it
actually
was going to
didn't
be
struggle.
like 27-0 by halftime.
The receivers struggled.
Wait, yeah, they did. They dropped a lot of passes. It was
They
at least
dropped
like
touchdown
5 or 6
passes.
drops in that
You know, we
game.
bypassing the fact that y'all should have lost that game because of the delay game that it did not call, or we just going to go past it because y'all won.
I ain't bypassing it. I'm
I
thanking
said-
God, bruh.
I said from the beginning that they were very fortunate because of that. And then you and David started going ham. Like I didn't.
We didn't go
know
ham.
about-
Oh my God, we went ham because of the response that you said. You didn't say that at first.
I
You and
first-
Brevin, y'all said we were haters.
Yes, I started off with they
But
were
how is that
fortunate. and
hating?
said y'all-
It's the truth.
But y'all were hating so hard. Y'all were
It's
angry.
the truth. The thing that gets me about some things is y'all say that the truth is hating. I don't understand that. The truth of the matter is, if the delay game was called that would have
No,
lost the game because it would have been a 10-second runoff off the
when
clock.
you start a statement off with, "I bet you if blah 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 had happened, they wouldn't be saying blah blah blah." That is hate.
That is not what I said. I'm just
Okay,
gonna
but
reread
we're
those
having a
texts.
discussion about a sidebar
Anyway,
conversation that nobody else was even privy to right now.
anyway, 66-yard field goal. That's actually what happened.
No,
A
before we
66.
get to the
And before
66,
that,
the
4th and
4 and
19.
19. Yeah.
4th and 19. That was a good throw.
With
A very
no
good throw.
timeouts. With no timeouts.
That was just
With
good play.
albeit whatever
Despite
the
the
thing.
fact that the referees didn't call that, because it's not up to us to call it, it's up to the referees to call it. Despite the fact that the referees did not call that, that was good play. Both of those was good play. And we would have had the game in hand anyway if we didn't drop 2 touchdowns and so forth and so on. But
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Justin Tucker is the GOAT. He's always been the GOAT for y'all. It's the kicker in the defense for y'all.
yeah, he's the man. Broncos beat the Jets 26-0.
No, were you throwing shade at our offense?
Oh my God. No, I was
All right.
not on shade at your
Moving
offense.
on,
Oh, he was
moving
like
on,
the king of
moving
the
on.
defense. Okay.
Moving on. 26-0 Broncos over the Jets.
No
31
surprise there.
No, not really. But we play the Broncos. The Ravens play the Broncos next week. I'm telling you, they're gonna lose.
The 3 J's.
The Broncos, because the Broncos are 3-0. That is true. But they played the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Jets.
So Jaquan, on my podcast, we were talking about it, and I was like, "Yep, the 3 J's, but it's the Giants, which is a G. The Giants, the Jets, and the Jaguars." Man, we were cracking up.
Yeah, I was like, the Giants begin with a G though. Raiders beat the Dolphins 31-28, and the Raiders look like they struggled a little bit there. They still playing good, but the Dolphins will give you a game. I don't care who it is.
The Raiders
The
to go
Raiders and the
down.
Chargers play each other next Monday. Is it next Monday night? I think it's next Monday night. That is going to be
I
a
want the
good
Raiders
game.
to go down.
It's
Yep,
going to be a
Monday
good
night.
one.
Yep, it's Monday Night Football. You were right.
Rams beat the Bucks 34-24. They're both still phony to me. The
I understand why
Vikings
he feels that way.
beat the Seahawks 30-17.
I didn't expect that score to be like that.
The problem is the Seahawks defense is
trash.
they allow, I think, 140 yards per game this season.
They allow the most yards per game this season so far. They're the worst defense in the league. And the offensive line has been bad for how long has Russ been playing there? Like 8 years? Is it like eight or 9 years?
Yeah, I think it could be longer than that. But yeah, he's never
However long
line.
he's been there, the offensive line has been bad. I don't understand why you don't address that. I understand he's mobile and he's a beast. He can throw the ball anywhere on the field very accurately. Why not protect him? I don't get that. I just don't get that. Packers beat the 49ers 30-28. That was a really good game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I want to bring up something about them later. We're not going to do it now. I'm going to bring it up later in another segment. Cowboys beat the Eagles 41-21. Some people picked the Eagles to win that game, I tell you.
Yeah, I didn't even get that.
Wow.
So you did what? Oh yeah, because you picked Cowboys. That's right. She was smart too. Yeah, that was. You know what that was? Again, hate. That's all it was. It was just hate. They hate people. Some people hate the Cowboys. So, and I'm not talking about just you, sir. Not just you. I'm talking about countrywide.
I mean, I do not like the Cowboys. I do not. But it was obvious who was going to win that game. So.
Now, Jaquan, are the Cowboys a good team? Yes or no?
What? Yes. Yeah, they're pretty good. I give them props.
You had to think about it though.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys and the Steelers play tomorrow, who's winning?
I'm gonna say the Steelers. I'm not gonna go to the Cowboys. I don't care what we look like. Sorry.
Anyway, moving on. So
I don't care what we look like.
I want to talk a little bit about coaching. I've seen a couple of things. It is still early in the season, I know. But I've seen a couple of things that had to do with coaching this year that were very disappointing to me. Last night, it's close to halftime. It's a minute and some change left, um, and the Eagles are trying to mount a drive down the field. It's third and long. It's like a minute and some change left. The Cowboys do not call a timeout. Instead,
yeah,
the
that was
clock
crazy to
runs.
me.
They run another play, and the clock still runs. They don't call a timeout. They literally let the clock go all the way down and did nothing. You only up by I think it was one score. I don't remember what the score was at the time, but it wasn't a
No,
whole
I
lot.
think they no, I think they were up by a few scores, at least two
No, it was no
touchdowns.
more than 10 points. They were up by. It was definitely not more than 10 points.
No, I'm pretty positive they were up by two touchdowns.
No, they not at that point. They weren't. They weren't up by two
It
touchdowns
was,
yet.
it
In fact,
was, I think it was,
it was 7-17. I think the score was 7-17. They did not call a time. Why would
that's,
you not? Why are these coaches are not playing to win? You know why Belichick and Brady? One of the reasons that they were so successful for 20 years is because they kept their foot on your throat the entire game. They didn't care how your feelings were going to be about it. They didn't care whether the what do they call that numbers thing that they do in football?
It was 20-7 because he missed the field goal. They were up by two touchdowns. It was 20-7 at halftime.
Well, even with that, you still call the timeout. You still try to score again because you don't know what was going to happen that second half. That's how you play football. That's how you stay aggressive. That's how you. I hate when teams get conservative because they have the lead. I remember years ago the Ravens were famous for that when we had Joe Flacco and some others on the team. They were famous for they get the lead and then they just slow everything down. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And then you know how many teams came back and beat us because of that? Why? You keep playing, you keep doing whatever got you there. That seems simple to me. There's been some bad coaches this year, and I'm really curious about who you guys think may be on the hot seat this year. I know it's early in the year, but who do you think possibly, if they don't do something this year, and they may not necessarily mean make the playoffs necessarily, but if they don't do something this year, they may lose their job. I'll start with you, Gina.
Urban Meyer, I think he's going to be out after this year. I think the experiment is going to be over, and he's going to head on to college.
Hmm.
I
I
don't
wasn't.
know that
who
the
coaches that again?
Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know that the Jaguars would be able to pull it together this year. I don't know. They're off to a slow start. I was looking for the way everybody was talking about this rookie QB coming in. I thought it
Uh,
was just like really going to be something,
yeah,
and
Wilson. Zach
huh?
Wilson. Zach
And
Wilson.
we haven't quite, and I don't have anything against the kid at all,
That's not the
but
sorry. That's not the that's not the quarterback.
yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence,
I mean
right?
Trevor Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get them two
So
mixed up. I
so yeah, yeah. It's so many rookie QBs. Yeah. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence, and it was like he was the second coming of Christ, and but he is a rookie. He is a rookie. This is his first year. You got to get some things together. He doesn't necessarily have everything around him, but it doesn't look like the Jaguars are really going to do any better than what they've done previously. So I think that Urban Meyer maybe, after this year is going to end and he's going to be heading on to college. I forget what team that was that reached out to him that they all deny that he's considering going there. And I
But
think he
whether
didn't lie. I think I'm not going there, meaning now. I think when the season is over, unless they're able to turn some things around, he might be out of there.
I think it was whether it one of them California colleges. I can't even remember who they said it was. I kind of believe it when he said no though, but
Right. He
I
meant
don't
no
know.
for now. He ain't trying to go there right now.
I don't know about that because he's a rookie coach with a rookie quarterback with an extremely young. I believe they're the youngest team in the league right now, and they were like that team was so bad before that. Like I feel like you got to give that guy a chance, but I don't know. It's possible. What do you think, Shaquan? Who do you think is on the hot seat?
I'm gonna go with Matt Nagy. He haven't been to the playoffs since 2017, I think. And the Bears, the defense don't even look the same right now. The offensive line isn't there. They try to start Justin Fields. If the offensive line plays like that, Justin Fields is going to be hurt by midseason.
No, we don't want it.
I don't want it, but it's sad truth. So I think if the Bears don't make the playoffs or even have a losing record, he might lose his job this year.
Mm. Well, that was my pick, Matt Nagy, because I just think he doesn't make good decisions. Like this week, he said that he didn't know who the starting quarterback was going to be this coming weekend. I just think the guy just doesn't make. I heard he was a lovable guy, like he was one of those likable guys, but the decisions are just they're just not there. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't really get it. I think he's the one on the hot seat. Also, but I mean, you have good coaches that make bad decisions too. Like that 49ers and Packers game when the 49ers went into prevent defense and all the Packers needed was a field goal to win. Why?
Right.
Why are you in prevent defense? You need to play the regular defense to stop them from getting into field goal range, much less a touchdown. Was it a fear that, okay, if we play regular defense, they might get the ball over top our heads again and score a touchdown?
I mean, it is
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers.
Huh?
I mean, it is Aaron Rodgers. He's thrown a Hail Mary before. So
I get that, but an L is an L. It doesn't matter how you lose when you lose. You just lose. So whether it would have been by field goal or touchdown, and you try to prevent both, not one. You don't just try to prevent a touchdown when they need a field goal, whether they can win with a field goal. If it was a 5-point lead or something like that, I get it. But that was just bad coaches to me from a good coach. So, I mean, I don't know. And I feel like with the team also, possibly with the team that Dallas has right now, how good that team is built, apparently on both sides of the ball.
I'm not 100%
McCarthy,
convinced on their defense yet, though.
well, they've been playing well thus far. But McCarthy might be, if he's not in the hot seat this year, if Dallas doesn't make the playoffs this year, he will definitely be in the hot seat next year, I believe. But
well, I don't know about that because they didn't have Dak Prescott last season, so you have to take into account for that. He was out, and
yeah, but they have a team this year. Like they have a complete. So far, it looks like they have a complete team this year. You got to do something with that. And if I saw that halftime thing that the coach didn't call timeout or anything like that to try to get some more points on the board. Don't you know Jerry Jones saw it too, sitting right there in his luxury timeout? See, I would imagine, as shrewd of a person he is, he's counting all that stuff. That stuff is not getting by him at all. Speaking of the Cowboys, they and the Ravens have the most people on the players on IR this year with 16, which is crazy. In week 3, to have 16 people on the IR, and just like the Cowboys, the Ravens, a lot of them are starters. Like that's crazy. And I want to talk about injuries for a minute because it seems to be pretty bad this year. Like people literally just drop. Like how many injuries did we see just in the Sunday night game, the one game? How many injuries did we see Sunday afternoon? Right, like the people
Every
are just
week,
dropping.
it's literally every week. There are a
Right.
number of players going out during the games and not coming back. They're out for the rest of the game. Some of them are then being put on IR. Some of them out for the rest of the season. Like the injuries have been unreal. I'm not just talking about the Ravens. I'm talking about period across the entire NFL.
Correct. Now, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out like, is it the physical fitness? You know, are the trainers on the teams not doing enough?
Like strength and
Is
conditioning
it
and stuff.
right? Is it because of last year?
Right.
Is it like what's causing this many injuries this year. You guys have any ideas?
I don't
Nah,
know what it
I'm
is.
always into the strength and conditioning part, and that really would pertain to the Achilles injuries, and all that, particularly the Achilles injuries, since it can be stretched out. I do question the strength and conditioning programs at a lot of these places, including my own team. I question the strength and conditioning, whether they are including Pilates and yoga and types of things. Not just I'll stretch when I'm on the field or just before. I mean, like a daily routine of that stuff to keep those muscles and ligaments and stuff limber. And so, because they're always lifting weights and tossing over tires and jumping up on boxes and pulling it, like all of that stuff. But when are you stretching out those muscles and making sure that they have good elasticity? So as long along with these tendons and all that stuff. So I question the strength and conditioning programs at a lot of these NFL teams, and I think that needs to be looked at closely. And if they are all not including things like that as a part of their regular program, I think that that's a problem. I do.
What do you think, Shakur?
I don't have anything to say. I agree with what she said mostly.
Now, do you guys think that possibly it could be the players themselves not taking care of themselves properly, or not doing enough, or doing too much in some
Yeah,
cases? Like, do you
I
think
think
that
that's
that's
a
a
point
possibility?
too. I think that's a point too. I was reading up on it actually before the season started, and they were saying like some of these guys go hard like the whole year and don't give their body the rest after the season to fully recover. And then some people don't do anything and then try to jump back, and you can't just jump back into it. So I guess balance is the thing. You got to find, each individual player needs to find the right balance of making sure their body fully rests and recover, but you keep doing something to keep yourself in some kind of shape so it's not as much of a shock to your system when you have to get back to it. And it's like, no, we're not ready for this right now, son. We're not ready. So I think it's finding the balance, and that may vary from player to player. But I think that's the key, that they need to figure out what that balance is for them, because your body needs to rest and recovery, but it also needs maintenance. So it's both sides.
Right. Um, I just think this is crazy, especially the Ravens situation. You lose your whole running back room before the first game. I have never, in my 30 whatever years of watching football, I've never seen or heard of that before.
And you have to look, and you're gonna have to look at the running backs coach also for that, just because that whole team went down. There has to be some common denominator there. It just has to be. So something has to be there, because that just, the odds of that happening are so slim. It has, something went down there. I just don't know what it is.
Now, what about the? I add one more thing before we move on. What about the field? The fields that they play on and practice on. Could that be contributing to? I always felt like that the actual turf always contributed to injuries in my
Well, we
mind.
don't have that though.
I know, but I'm just saying I always thought that caused injuries, and it does. But what about natural grass? Can it be the wrong way somehow? Oh, so for example, last year the 49ers, they lost what, three or four people in the time that they played the Jets and the Giants, and that was natural grass. Like, something was going on with that field.
I don't think they feel this natural grass.
Yeah, that field's natural grass.
They were trying to investigate that last year. They were trying to figure out why some people was getting hurt playing there.
I mean, there that is definitely way out of my wheelhouse. But I mean, it could be too soft, too hard, or whatever. I don't know. All that is a
Wait,
possibility.
but did y'all hear about the Ravens linebackers coach that popped his hamstring running onto the field to celebrate
Uh oh.
Tucker's field goal?
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
So literally running onto the field to celebrate that he popped his hamstring. Like, we got coaches going out on IR, y'all. What's going on? And but the coach kind of laughed at him though. He said because he doesn't believe in the exercise. He doesn't feel like he has to exercise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny, but it's not funny. But yeah, he popped his hamstring. Like we got coaches, like we got to figure out what's is it something in the water? Like something is going on.
It definitely is. All right, third quarter, folks. Third quarter. I need to find out who was your gangster and who was your wankster. Maybe that was your last. All right.
That is just hilarious. It is.
Who was your gangster and who was your wankster for the week? Would you put your call? You can go first.
Oh, I wasn't even ready. Okay.
I can go.
All right, go ahead, Regina.
So my gangster, of course, is who? Justin 66 yards Tucker. Like it's not like nobody else deserved to be the gangster more than him this week in this entire league because he did something that has not been done by anyone. And I'm not even sure when that record is going to be broken. I'm thinking it's going to stand for a long time because we got kickers who can't even make 30-yard kicks right now.
Right.
So that dude is gangster. The fact that he was calm, confident. I'm sure he had a level of nervousness or whatever, but he was also calm and confident. And he believed God. He get up there. They practice, practice, practice. They have their stuff down to a science, and do what you do. And after having missed like a 49 yarder during the game.
Right.
So if that should just completely shake your confidence, you didn't make the 49, now you up here to make a 66? Like it's crazy. That dude is crazy. And I went to actually tweet. I was like, man, I wish I had a picture of this because I was like, this dude is for sure now first ballot Hall of Famer. And I was saying, but it shouldn't be a bust. It should be his leg. And literally, I kept on going down my Twitter timeline and I found a picture. Somebody had actually done it. They had pictures of the bus and then they had his leg. I was like, this is exactly what I just said on Twitter. So, yeah, that was hilarious. Literally, they need to have his leg, not a bust. And when he becomes that first ballot Hall of Fame um, inductee. So yeah. He's definitely my gang. That you can't get any more gangster than that. I mean, the
All
fact
right.
that the coach had enough confidence to put him up there to do it, that was gangster.
Right.
So my wankster is going to
Wait a
go
minute, wait a
to
minute. We just want to do the gangster
oh,
first, and then
just
we'll come
gangster.
back to the way.
Okay.
So I'll give Jaquan more time to think. My gangster is a person who, after the fourth game last year, they weren't even sure whether he was ever going to play again at all. Then they didn't know how long it was going to take him to come back. And now the Dak is back. The Dak is back. He went 21 for 26, 238 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let me say it again. 21 for 26, 238 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He missed 5 passes, y'all, the entire game. He missed 5 passes. And I guarantee you a couple of them weren't even his fault. They probably dropped. Man, the Dak is back.
Yeah.
That dude is gangster, for sure. All right, Jaquan, who you got?
How y'all both for you gangsters for y'all teams? That's not even fair. Okay. Gangster for me would be the Chargers. For beating the Chiefs.
For
There's a lot of
sure.
people didn't believe that they could do it. And they
Right.
went into Kansas City and beat them.
Yeah, that's a hard place to play. That is definitely a hard
Yeah.
place to play.
Yep.
They should be gangsters. All right, Regina, who's
Good
your
pick.
wankster?
That's a good pick, Jaquan. My wankster is the Washington football team. Well, I'll say the Washington football team defense. Like, dude, like I went hard for this team during the offseason. I predicted that they would repeat and win the division. And how y'all making me look on my job right now? It's like, what? Why? The defense has definitely let me down. So I gotta give I don't know what happened. It's like they fell off since last year. I thought they were just gonna pick up and continue what they were doing last year. So I mean a part of the reason why they were able to make it into the playoffs last year was because of that defense largely. And with that defense not being, where it's supposed to be, Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to that Washington. I'm going to say specifically the Washington football team defense. Wankster, wonk wonk.
Okay, my Wingster is going to be, and I could probably name the same thing every week. The Seattle Seahawks organization, not the team, the organization. I'm talking about the coaches, the general manager, for the fact that however many years that Russ has been there cooking, they have not gotten that man the offensive line, not one of those years. If it was not for them having Russell Wilson, they would probably be no better than a 6-10, 8-8 team every year if it wasn't for Russell Wilson. Maybe even less than that. I don't care that you got Bobby Wagner on the defense, who's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't care that you have Jamal Adams out there. The defense still sucks. The offensive line has been horrible for a long time. At least the defense used to be good, but now they're not good. Now the offensive line is just as bad as it's always been, and they obviously refuse to fix it. Russ has been there, I'll just say, rounded off to 10 years. And in 10 years, you couldn't get an offensive line? 10 years, you couldn't get an offensive line. Come on, Whiteston. Who's your pick, Jaquan?
I had like three. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Jets. They are not doing anything this year. First of all, why did y'all even show up to the game to, give a donut? Like, y'all should have
Mm-hmm.
just stayed home. And the rookie is looking real bad behind the offensive line. He already has like the most interceptions in the league already. So yeah, the Jets is just, I don't know. They might actually be the first team to go over 17.
Let me ask you something. Do you blame the organization or the team for their performances the past couple of years? Not just this year, just the past couple, because the Jets were horrible last year too. Before
Jets
the
been
whole,
struggling for a minute.
yeah.
Yeah, the Jets haven't been a team since I think like '09, 2010. So
Wow.
yeah, no, that's true. I think the next time they made the playoffs is when they beat the Patriots in 2010. So yeah,
But
I don't know. It got to be the organization. It
I
got to
agree
be.
with you. I agree with you. I think it's the organization. I remember year before last, they had built a team that looked like it could do well. They had Le'Veon Bell. They had the linebacker that they stole from the Ravens. No,
C.J. Mosley.
they got to be free agency, but yeah, they looked like they had a decent team, and they didn't do as well as they thought they were going to do because the offensive line stuff. That was one of the reasons. But then the general manager goes on national TV and talks about he's taking offers for anybody on the team except for the quarterback. What? You want me to play for you, but you're offering me up to any, like, why would I have loyalty to you and want to play for you in that situation? That was crazy. Like that, I've never seen anything like that before. So I definitely think it's the organization, and they getting what they supposed to get, I guess. That is horrible. Fourth quarter, y'all. Fourth quarter. Fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just have a couple questions. Um, I guess I'm going to start with you this time, Jaquan. What team under 500 has the best chance to make the playoffs? I'm going to tell you the teams that are under 500. Jets, Jaguars, Giants, Lions, Falcons, Dolphins, Patriots, Chiefs, Steelers, Texans, Colts, Washington football team, Seahawks, Bears, Vikings, and
Oh
Eagles.
my gosh, all those teams are under.
Yes, they are.
Well, of course, I would.
Unbiased. Okay, all right, I guess you can't be unbiased. So out of those teams that I named, you think the Steelers have the best chance of making the playoffs
Of course.
over the Chiefs?
Of course, I'm going to roll my team. You can't be asking me no questions
Okay.
about what the Chiefs are not.
All right, Regina, what do you think? Do you need me to name the teams again?
No, I have the list. So I think you should let us answer one from NFC and one from AFC.
All right, well, let me go
Can we
back
do?
to Jaquan then. You named the AFC team. Give me an NFC team. You want me to name the NFC
Um,
teams again?
yeah, do the NFC team.
Okay. Uh, Giants, Lions, Falcons, Washington football team, Seahawks, Bears, Vikings, Eagles.
Wow. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay. So you think the Seahawks and the Steelers have the best chance to get to the playoffs
Yeah.
of the teams that are under 500 right now? I mean, that's definitely seeable. Like I can see that. All right, Regina, what about you?
All right. So for AFC, I'm gonna definitely go ahead and go with the Chiefs. Like, come on, like, yeah, they can recover. And for the NFC, I'm going to go. I really want to go with the Seahawks too, man, because they managed to make it. I would say the Seahawks, or if it's not them, it could possibly be the Vikings. It could definitely be the Vikings. They could go ahead and pull some stuff together,
All right, but
but
come on, you gotta pick
I'm gonna go
one.
Seahawks. Then I'm gonna go Seahawks. Don't pressure.
All right, for me, AFC. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Shaquan about the Steelers, but I gotta go with the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs, man. Like it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
Tyreek
um,
Hill, Kelsey,
Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey. Like, I mean, that's hard to go against.
and the
Uh,
coach.
and for the NFC, um, hmm,
Come on, go with the Seahawks too. You know,
no, I'm not. I
wow.
have,
Why you hating on Why you
I'm
hating on
not.
them like that?
I have no faith in the Seahawks. Did you just hear me talking about them 3 minutes ago?
They squeak out something every year. I don't know.
Yeah, but squeaking ends after a while. Um,
We don't
I'm,
do
I'm going to say, I'm going to say the Bears. I
without
had a hard
without an O
time.
line, without an O line.
I had a hard time choosing. You know what? No, no, no. I'm going to say what I started to say. I'm going to say the Lions. I'm going to go with my first thought. I'm going to say the Lions. I'm going to say the Lions as a wild card team. Yeah, I think that could happen. I really do. I think those guys are a good team with a slow start.
I don't think it's
Um,
far fetched. I don't think it's far fetched. They're
um,
feisty. They are
I
feisty.
need I need Jared Goff to play just a little bit better, but they also have a run game. Like they have two good running backs.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they could do that. I think they could do that. So I'm
They're
gonna say Chiefs.
feisty. I
Yeah,
would like to.
definitely.
I'm going to go as far as to say I would love to see them in the playoffs, even
Yeah,
if they get knocked out the first round. I would love to see them make the playoffs. Like I really would.
and I think they have a good coach also. Like I think those guys have a good coach.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, that could be the key to a lot right there. All right, folks, it's time for overtime. It's time for a new segment called the Blitz Pick.
Oh, we going to skip the winning record?
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that. My apologies. Oh yeah, what team with the winning record? That is different. What team with the winning record do you think can get to the Super Bowl? Not just the playoffs, the actual Super Bowl. I'll start with you this time, Regina. Are we doing one
Well,
NFC,
you
one
already
AFC?
know who she's picking for the AFC, so just get her to go to the NFC one.
Look, don't know. We're going to actually say my team's name. We're going to say my team's name.
So
Say their
I think,
name. Say
but
their name.
I think for this one, it should only be one pick, not AFC and NFC, just one pick,
I disagree.
one team, one team.
It
You got to
doesn't
make
make
it.
sense
You
because
got
a
to you got
team
to make
from
it
the
difficult.
AFC goes to the Super Bowl and a team
I
from the
know.
NFC
I
goes to
get
the Super
that. I
Bowl.
get that. But in order to make the question more difficult, I think we should
Okay, you
do
ain't make it more
because it's not
difficult
even.
with
Wait a
me.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see how many.
You
One,
didn't make it
two,
more difficult for
three,
me.
4, 5,
Ravens.
6, 7, 8, All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's an even amount of balls. Okay, we could do one. We could do one of each.
Like my
All right.
idea was the right idea from the beginning, which is the whole
But I
game.
thought I thought it was an uneven number of each. That's why I said that. But go ahead.
So for the
So,
for the AFC, we're going to say the Baltimore Ravens,
do you want
and
me to
then
name this?
for huh?
Oh no, I go ahead. I'll name this what you're calling.
And then for the NFC, I'm going to, as I already said, I do not think the Bucks are going to the Super Bowl. I've said that several times. So for the NFC, I'm going to go with my sleeper team that I've been calling all off season and say the Cardinals.
Okay. Bold pick. Bold pick. All right, Jaquan. I'm going to read off the. We're going to do AFC first. I'm going to read off the AFC teams that were in the records to you. Bills, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Titans.
I'm looking at you.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Okay.
That's a good
Okay.
pick. It's
Yeah,
not
it is.
true, but it's a good pick.
It is. All right. NFC: Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, Packers, Panthers, Bucks, Saints, Cowboys.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I still believe the Bucks can make it to the Super Bowl.
You still
I'm
think the
not.
Bucks can?
Yeah, I still think they can make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So for the AFC, it's the Ravens. I didn't have to think about that one. It'll be tough sledding, but I think they could do it. For the NFC, however, I'm gonna say the Cowboys.
I mean, of course.
I no, I think that especially as the season goes on, the Cowboys have just as much as a complete team as the Rams, the Saints, the Bucks, and more complete than and the 49ers, and more complete than
I
the
think
Packers.
that's a good pick. I think the Cowboys are a good pick.
He thinks I'm just picking them because I love them, and that's not even it. That's not even it at all. Those boys have a complete team, a good complete team. All
I'm
right,
not 100% sold on their defense. I'm going to keep saying that yet.
I get
But I
it, but
think
they are
they're
definitely going
getting
to get better.
there.
They are definitely going to get better as the season goes on. All right, so the Blitz overtime pick. This is the object of it. You have to pick a team you believe will win this week coming up. We will do this every week. You cannot pick a team more than once this season,
What?
nor can you pick a team that anybody else has picked for the week. So, because of that, we're going
I'm
to
going
just we're
first.
going
I'm
to
going first.
because of that, we're going to write down who actually goes first
Right.
each week because the same people can't keep going first.
Right. So
So
you can
from
rotate.
whoever goes first this time, we're going to go clockwise from there.
No,
So since
that's all
she
right.
called
Let's
it,
do it the easy way. Let's do it the easy way. Let's
young and
go in
soldier.
alphabetical order. So
I thought
Bobby
young
will
and
go
soldier.
first, then Jay. No, then yeah, no, then
Yeah, that's
Gina,
right.
then Jay.
Oh yeah. All right. So my team.
My hand is raised for a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you said that we can't pick the same team. So say like if we're doing like I don't know Raiders and Chargers, and we don't two people can't say the Raiders.
Right.
No.
Correct. Two people cannot say the Raiders, and not only that, say if you did pick the Raiders, you can't pick them no more this season.
But how is that possible? I don't understand. There's only two teams that can play in one game. That is
Right, but you're picking a team every week. Not you're only picking one team per week.
Oh, let me see how I go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so this week you probably want to pull up Jaquan so you can remember who's playing. Look at your pick sheet.
Oh,
I'm going to pick the. I mean, you kind of want to pick a short bet game, but is that a such thing? Like, there is really not a such thing as a sure win. But I think the closest I can get to that is going to be I'm going to take the
Do, do, do,
I'm
do,
going to take the
do, do.
Titans over the Jets.
So it's like locks of the week, basically.
Is who? What is that? I don't know what
Like
that
our
is.
locks of the week. Like we're locking over who's gonna like it's going to be who's going to win that week, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
But
just one team.
Right. Okay, I got it there.
all right.
So
So I got the Titans.
my pick is going to be the Saints. They're playing the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Okay. Ooh, that's not a definite to me.
And luckily it's my pick, not yours.
All right, Jaquan, who you got?
The Chiefs over the Eagles.
But you can't pick the Chiefs anymore this season.
Right.
Okay.
Remember that. So as the season goes on, this is probably going to get more difficult. Yeah, and that. All right, so Jaquan picks the Chiefs. Regina picks the Saints. Bobby picks the Titans. At this time, who went first this time?
You did.
I did. All right, so let me put my name right
I
here.
forget that already.
I don't know. Old age. All right, so that means next week Regina goes first because we're just gonna go clockwise.
It's called alphabetical order.
Well, I mean, it just happened to be that way, but I was
There's no
going
clock
clockwise.
here. What clock are you talking about? It's no clock.
All right, folks, that was a great one. As usual, it was a fun one.
Always fun.
You can catch us again next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. No Pro Football Show on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, ask questions. Regina, you can do your outro.
Gina, who's the host of She Talks Football. Please follow my podcast on the video podcast on YouTube on She Talks Football, and also on the Undroppables platform. Definitely check them out. A lot of great content with that platform, that group, great group. Follow them on Twitter at the Undroppables. Follow me on Twitter at She Talks Football with one L only. And also, you can listen to my podcast on audio on Apple. They will be out on Apple. There's a little delay with Apple because they like to verify things first. So I'm not mad at that. On Spotify, on Google Podcast, and a few of the other ones. But between Apple and Google Podcast, that covers everybody. So definitely, please come check me out. Listen to the podcast. You'll see some familiar faces on there, Bubby, and definitely have a great time. Leave your comments. Definitely subscribe. Appreciate it.
Just follow me on Twitter at Jaquan625.
All right, folks. It was great again. I'll see you the next time. Like I said, same back channel, same bad time. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
One.